First of all, thank you very much for giving me opportunity to speak for your respectable media and citizens in Spain. We feel in Macedonia, Spain like a big friend of our country, especially in this period and this process of approaching of Macedonia to European Union. I think that is the most important process in our country in this moment. And of course, everything depends of economy, but also opposite the economy depends a lot of from politics. You know, any investor in our country, if we want to invest, doesn't matter it is the direct foreign investor or domestic investor, they need a few basic issues. The first one is, of course, the rule of law. Another one is some incentive, support by the government, like everywhere in Europe or in all countries developed. But I think that the most important is stability in the country. To be stable for our country, like Macedonia, means to be part of European Union and NATO, and we are on the way in this process. Generally saying, for macroeconomic parameters in our country, I can say after some tendency in the previous years, which we have from the political point of view, and some decreasing of the GDP numbers. This year, I can say with the proud that we have very encouraging numbers and a very encouraging direction. How we are approaching European Union and NATO, how we can deliver security to the direct foreign investors, I think that we are obtaining more encouraging numbers in this direction. And of course, this is not only stability. Also, we develop a very supportive program and very supportive scheme of support for all investors in the country, direct foreign investors or domestic investors. And this is the way how we attract already a lot of investors to come in Macedonia. In the last few months, we signed 16 contracts for state aid, but this state aid it's not on the negotiable level. That means that we are not negotiating with any different or particular investors. What we have the scheme which is according to the law and according to a very clear criteria and very precise criteria. That means that any support is very predictable for any investor who want to come in Macedonia. He can count with this support in the very beginning, and he can forecast all his activities in our country. From the point of view of the how attractive is our country for all investors, I can say that we have really good, reliable, and labor force with the good skills. Also, I think that we can deliver stability in the country, but most important for any investor is to have only one-stop shop for all their bureaucratic activities. And I think that through our the direction for technological development and the free custom zone, we have a one-stop shop office in our country for all investors to solve all their I can say contacts with administration in the country. That means that they are not able and they don't need to go from door to door and from different institutions in the country. They have only one office there. They can communicate for all their needs in our country. I'm discussing for anyone who can be direct foreign investor in the country according to the existing law. Macedonia, in the index from the World Bank of doing business, it's on the 11th position in the world, what is, I think, a big success. And it showed that the climate from the administrative point of view, it's very positive. The cost of the labor in Macedonia is not so high. I can say comparable in the region, we are approximately same, even a little bit lower maybe. If you can consider the ratio of unemployment in the country, you can see the numbers of around 20%. But honestly saying, some part of the young people are not still in the country. That means that The real ratio of unemployment it's not so high, but still it's easy to in Macedonia to find the worker, and it's easy to find very skilled people to work in industry or in another part of economy. I can say that of course how the market of the labor compete between the countries in the region and also in the world. The salaries are increasing in our country, and the increasing of the salary in the previous year was approximately 6.5% average. I can say that all companies which is coming here in Macedonia, they are asking to have as much as possible European quality for as much as possible Chinese price. I can say that we can secure this, that yes, our companies and our people can secure European quality. I'm not sure about the Chinese prices, but I can say that we can secure very competitive prices. I'm using this opportunity to invite all Spain company to come in first of all in Macedonia to understand what has happened here, to be more familiar with our circumstances in our country. And I'm very sure, I'm quite sure, because I'm coming from the real sector. My background is that I am owner of the industries, and I came from the real industry. And I'm quite sure that they can find good partners in Macedonia in both directions to deliver their products and to sell their products in Macedonia, but also the opposite, to find some good partners to be their sub-supplier for some components or to buy some final products from Macedonia. I think that the number of, it's not very high in this moment in the trade between Macedonia and Spain. I think that we have the space for improvement in those numbers. I think that if, of course, first of all, if any Spain company wants to come in Macedonia and to invest, they can count with few basic things. First of all, they have a really good tax system. If they are in the free custom zone, for 10 years they can pay corporate tax and personal tax is zero. I think that is a very good opportunity for them to decrease their cost. Also, they can find very good labor and very skilled people for their industry, and also they can count with very transparent supportive scheme for their investment. I can mention only few of those components, and they can find of the internet, of the websites of the government and everywhere this law. Even they can find the calculator where they can calculate which will be support from the government if they want to invest in Macedonia. But I can mention only few measures. First of all, let's say 10% return of their investment if they are mainly for domestic market, or 20% if they are for extending the market abroad, if I can say export orientated. Also, if they are giving the salary what is 50% higher than average salary in Macedonia, they can count with 20% retirement of the net salary for the companies. If they cooperate with domestic economy, they can count with additional support. That means it is the set of the transparent measure where they can find themselves, and I think that on the end of the day they can count with 50% retirement of their investment in our country. I think that is the good opportunity for all companies to come in Macedonia, to decrease their production cost and to expand on the regional market. And I'm using this opportunity to inform your companies and economical society in Spain about those measures, and I hope that they will recognize them like very supportive, and to attract them to, first of all, to come in Macedonia and to visit our country, and after that I think that we will find the best way to cooperate between us. We are a small country, and maybe somebody expects that if you are 2 million people that you have only one area where you are active and that it's all. Fortunately or unfortunately, it doesn't depend on which corner you are looking over this issue. We have the different type of industrial activities here in Macedonia. I am not able to say that we are dominant only in one area, but I can mention a few of them. Let's say agricultural products. Those products are recognized in the region like the best, I can say. where we are very similar with Spain in Europe, because Spain is the big source of vegetable and agricultural product for whole Europe. And also I can say that Macedonia is somehow in the same position for the region here and for the neighboring countries. Also, I can say that metallurgical industry, it's very developed in Macedonia, with several metallurgical factories here for producing ferronickel, ferrochrome, and also some steel factories. Also, we have metal industry. I can say that we have few factories which is very good in the metal industry, tobacco industry, a lot of textile also. Working for a lot of brands in Europe, and I think that this is the main course. Of course, we have some energy companies, a lot of trading, and we can mention from also some food processing industry, also very developed, because we have good raw material for this industry. I can say that in Macedonia you can find almost everything, but they are not very big companies which is able to compete with the whole Europe and to cover, I can say, the European market. Maybe some wine I can mention, etc. The quantities produced in Macedonian factories are, I can say, enough to cover the region, but not the world. And I think that the direction where we can develop our companies, it's a direction where they can grow a little bit more to be able to increase their volume of production to cover, I can say, wider region of the market, and to cooperate more with the rest of European economy. You know that the fourth industrial revolution is digitalization of the world. That means that this means IT sector. Of course, that is increasing in Macedonia. Especially, it's very attractive for our young people because they can work here in Macedonia for anywhere in the world, and this is what it's really happened. And also a lot of foreign companies came here and established their enterprises in Macedonia, where they employ the young engineers in IT industry and programmers, young people. And I think that this is the fast growing industry in Macedonia in this moment. And also this is from another point of view, this is the chance for us to came a little bit closer to the highest level of technology, to be present on the European market. Why I am saying this? Because if you want to establish some factory, let's say in the metal industry or in processing industry, doesn't matter, you need a lot of investment in machinery, in technology, etc. But to have and to establish the company in the IT sector, the starting investment, it's not very high. Here it's the main value of those companies are idea and skilled people able to realize those ideas. And exactly for this reason, I think that this industry is very interesting for the young people in Macedonia, and they are very active. And this is the fast-growing, I can say, area in the industry from the industrial point of view in our country. We like the politics. We have to secure environment for creating business. Of course, that politics is not involved in creating the business directly, but we have to secure somehow the positive environment for our entrepreneurs in our country and in your country. And I think that is the good starting point if we can organize some meeting between the governmental representative from Spain in the economical departments and from our side also. I am ready personally to participate in this process, and also I think that we can increase cooperation between the Chamber of Commerce, where we can organize some meetings where we can make this environment to meet each other first of all, to understand what we can produce in our country, what we can buy in our country, and opposite also in Spain. For us, like small country, will be big honor to cooperate with Spain. Of course, Spain can exist without Macedonia, and any European country can exist without Macedonia because we are small. But any cooperation with with big countries in the European Union, as of course definitely the Spain is one of the bigger in the European Union. For us it's significant impact for our economy, and this is the reason why we are very committed to develop this type of cooperation, and especially economical cooperation. Of course, if it's any sense from the Spain side and if they recognize this like possibility, of course we will be very committed to this process to develop this cooperation on the highest possible level. I can say that the main interest for investment in Macedonia came those days from European Union countries, mainly from Germany, I can say, Austria, United States, etc. And I will be very happy to obtain the investors from different countries, especially also from Spain. In this moment we have not a lot of Spain investors in the country, and for this reason I hope that the Spain companies can recognize this like possibility and opportunity, and definitely we, like the government, will be very supportive for any investor which want to come in Macedonia and to invest. We have cooperation with some Spain company in this moment, especially let's say with EPTISA. EPTISA is a supervision company with the Spain origin in some construction jobs and construction activities in our country, and I can say that they are very professional, and I'm very satisfied with this type of cooperation. I think that some Spain companies on the very high level from the point of view of the standards and the technical and technology development, and I think that they can bring some value in our economy, and for this reason they are very welcome, and I hope that we can encourage them, especially with our measures, with our stability in the future, with all aspects of our life, daily life in Macedonia. But also I hope that also this interview will help in this direction.